I'm surprised this year going from the defense that we had last year. Like I said, I know we've lost some people, some kids. I'm just surprised with the tackling and man, the front four, that was supposed to be our strong suit this year. Linebackers, where they at, and that's the thing, man. Like I keep saying, man, 42 points tonight. It's not the offense's fault tonight why we lost. I mean, yeah, sure, we could have made some plays here and there, but man, we ran the ball for 257 yards. I mean, that's a hell of a lot better than what we normally do or have done in the past. I mean, Grant had 27 carries tonight. It's awesome. I mean, we're trying to run the football and we are running the football. It's just defensively, that's where I'm at. And something's got to change there. And like I said, I'm more on the side of the scheme that we're running. I don't know how easy it is to probably change your scheme, four games into the season, or 3 games into the season, but we got to do something different there. I mean, this isn't obviously working. You know what I mean? Like this isn't going to work against Oklahoma if we can't tackle in space or keep guys contained, or what we're doing in zone in that nickel package where those guys are, there's nobody around them. They're running a 15-yard, slant route, and we don't got anybody there. I mean, they could, like I said, Chad Shepard says lack of tackles. Exactly. I mean, it's something's got to change, and it needs to change quickly. I don't think we can play any worse than we did on defense tonight. You know what I mean? Like it was bad. The whole entire game. I'm thinking, man, I mean, this is going to be, I looked at the over and under at one time, Christian, on this game. At one time it was 96. I mean, that's a lot of freaking points. I mean, that's a lot of points. I didn't expect to track me tonight. So I'm with you, man.
I wasn't either. I do want to talk about this though. This is something we talked about this last week, on there, and there's some clips you can go back and you check it out. 2 things we talked about. Number one, Casey Thompson, right? And his ability to run the football. I think we all were calling for that. And tonight, I mean, he had 3 rushing touchdowns, dude. Yeah. I mean, that changed the game, right? Because if Casey Thompson just kind of stood back there like a statue, this could have been so much worse. By the way, this game actually should have been a lot worse than what it really was. And let me just say that because clock management down there at the end of the first half, Georgia Southern, they should have kicked another field goal.
Right.
They didn't get that. They had the excess runoff. So that sent us into halftime. That's 3 points right there. And then what was it? Man, I can't remember at what point of the game it was, but there was that field goal that they had to settle for late in the game, Georgia Southern, and they were right there. I mean, they were right there. If they'd have scored that, I mean, it would have been another 7 points right there, and it wouldn't have really been as close as it really was towards the end. But going back, sorry, I thought about that too
that was a good point. That was a good point, especially the one before halftime. That was easy points for those guys, and then that one hurt them. You know what I mean? I was surprised. I was like, damn, we got out of that one. You know what I mean? Like they looked like they were about ready to score there. They moved the ball on us pretty easily.
Yeah, but I think the other good thing too is Thompson was able to run the ball. And what started happening, and you saw it, was that started opening the middle of the field up. When he started running, early in the game, and he was actually causing, their backers and whatnot to not play as deep as they normally should have. That's when Casey Thompson hit Brody Belt on that little, vertical seam route that he had. Yep. And that changed the trajectory of the game, right? Because now all of a sudden Georgia Southern was like, uh-oh, what do we do? Because now we have to account for him running the ball. We can't stop Grant because he's physical. And now we have to sort of play back. And to me, that's what started giving Southern fits. If you start getting, back to certain things like that, against Oklahoma, I mean, that's a pretty good scheme, right? You're balanced. Nobody's going to know what you're going to do. Right. And you're going to force Oklahoma to start, having to play certain aspects. And that's when it becomes fun as an offense, because you can start picking them apart, right? You can really start picking them apart. What people don't actually know about this is we actually have a really inside track on this, with this team, with one of the quarterbacks. And I'm just wondering, can we get a start Matt Masker, chant going here? I mean, by God, that's what we're missing.
I love Matt. Great kid, by the way, too. No, I like what you touched on there, dude. The Casey Thompson running the ball tonight was actually one of the more surprising things I saw. I'd heard, and I watched him at Texas last year. He didn't run the ball a lot. Like you said, man, that having that option to be able to pull the ball down and move, and he's not the fastest guy on the planet, but man, that keeps you, that moves your linebackers up, that moves your secondary up, and they got to account for that. You know what I mean? And it gets to a point where they have to watch that. You know, like I said, 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. If you would have told me he had that, I would have said you were full of shit. But no, that's huge, and I love that about him. And I like I said, whoever decided, hey, we need to you take off and start running a little bit. I'm not saying this has got to be him running the ball 20 times a game or something like that, but that definitely keeps the defense on their toes. And I thought, like I said, the offense, I thought, played really well. I just, again, I could talk about defense all day here, but yeah, I agree with by the way, the Matt Masker chant. I love that.